Hello and welcome to another tutorial on Toon Harmony. So this is the graphical interface of Toon Harmony. Whenever you open it for the first time, you get this dialog box. If you go to the dialog box's folder section and you open up and set up a folder that creates a new file. To do this, let's see. Okay, so these are all my folders. I'm working on a lot of Toon Boom animations, and you can see this is one of the folders that I'm working with. So I have this main folder in which I have created a lot of folders, and in each of this folder there's a Toon Boom file. So this is the Toon Boom test folder, and I'm going to just select this folder and write a name of a project. Now mind you, project is basically one shot. It can be one shot, it can be one whole animation sequence within one file, but that depends on the laptop or your PC, how you want to go about it. Now this is the menu of Toon Boom, and if you want to save a new version, you can just click here and you can save a new version of this file. So for example, I name this as Hello There, so I can now create another version like Hello There 2 or Hello There 1. So let's write Hello There 1 and create a new version. Now the problem with Toon Boom is Toon Boom creates the folder as soon as you create a project. It has all the files, it has all the features. I'm going to go into the folder section right now and I'm going to show you. So the Toon Boom testing files and Hello There 1, the first one that we created, but it doesn't have the Toon Boom file, but this one does. Now this is a very big problem, because every time you open Toon Boom, create a new project, you have to click save. The minute you click save, it creates the Toon Boom files. So if you open this again from the Toon Boom testing files and go to the first file, you can't actually open a Toon Boom file because there's no Toon Boom folder. So these are some issues with Toon Boom. Maybe the new versions have this problem fixed. So this is one of the wrong ways to actually create a first project at the first time. So every time you open Toon Boom, create a folder, and these are all the projects that I have running right now. So every time you open Toon Boom, create a folder, go to the folder that has all the projects, delete these first of all, and let's start from scratch. Let's do a new folder. So Hello There, I've deleted the first ones. Select HDTV vertical, HDTV, and immediately after you open it, go to the folder where the main project folder has been created. So Toon Boom testing files, and this is the folder. So you can see as soon as you press the save button, save, and you can also do it from here. Control S is the shortcut. Save, it creates the Toon Boom file. So this tbup file is the file that opens up a Toon Boom file. So for first timers, it's a pretty hard thing to do. Now this is the viewports. There are some customizable viewports. I prefer the old school style with the X sheet on the right side. This is for what do you call it, compositing. Those of you who are into compositing in Toon Boom. So Toon Boom is a very versatile software, and it gives you the options of compositing, hand-drawn animation. This is the old Flash version, like Flash animations, and you can use this like the new Adobe Animate. I think they've changed the version of Flash to the Adobe Animate. So this one is for hand-drawn animation, and I prefer to do hand-drawn animation. I teach hand-drawn animation as well, so that's why I go for the old school, and I guess there's no school like the old school. So the tool that I'm using right now is the brush tool, and we'll come to that in a short while. You see, no school like the old school. So this is the X sheet, this is the tool palette, and if you go to the first frame, all the drawings that I did are on the first frame. Now this is the layer palette, and it has a couple of layers. I've selected the color card. This is the layout area. Whatever gets drawn gets shown here, displayed here, rendered here. Now this is the safe area. The rectangular box that you see, you cannot draw outside of that. Whatever you draw outside, it does not get rendered or does not come to video. So try avoiding drawing anything outside, animating anything outside, because at the end of the day, if you're drawing anything outside, it won't get rendered. So my best suggestion would be, don't draw anything from outside. So yeah, or here as well. So this is overall the graphical interface of the video or the camera panel. The camera panel is selected right now. You can see a red area around the camera panel. That means that it is active and it is operational right now. So whatever panel you're working on, it actually gets a red box around it. So zooming in and zooming out. Initially, my students from LUMS University and Scarsdale, they have this issue: how do we zoom in, how do we pan in? So the panning is very easy. If you want to pan around the viewport, it's a spacebar key. This long horizontal key that you have on your keyboard, that's the key. And in some laptops, it's for zooming in and zooming out, it's the key that is the first the number one key and the number two key that zooms in and zooms out. And in some PC laptops, the zoom in and zoom out option is available by Control plus and Control minus key. So the Control plus keys zooms in and the Control minus keys zooms out. It's basically how your laptop and keyboard configurations are. So I don't know, it sort of like has something to do with your GPU driver or your video drivers zooming in and zooming out of total. But you can change the settings of the zooming in, zooming out feature, or any shortcut key from the preferences window. And mind you, the preferences windows compared to Photoshop are a bit tricky, but once you get the hang of it, it's really easy to use. So the brush and the pencil tool. The brush is normally, it's a fat thick stroke, has a fat thick stroke, and the pencils have thin stroke. So the purpose of using the brush tool is basically used for fill, and the pencil tool is basically used for stroke. So now vectors have basic two parts. One is the stroke, one is the fill. The stroke is the outer outline, and the fill is the inner color. So if you don't change the sequence of drawing, and if you don't figure out this firsthand, you are really in a lot of trouble. So try to use the tools for their intended purposes. I mean, I've got a lot of students who start illustrating and sketching with the brush, and then they say, oh sir, I can't actually add a fill in the outline or the stroke. So figure it out first. The pencil tool is for the strokes and the brush tool is for the fills. This is one of the most important things you can do. Okay, so I think somehow there seems to be some so the tool properties and the color properties are working. Now, for example, if you want to change this color of the stroke, you can immediately just go to the bucket tool and select the inking option and change the stroke values, ink, and I can change the colors of the stroke to blue. So you can see the stroke outlines have turned blue, and I'm going to individually select these strokes and also turn them blue as well. And so I deselected the color blue. Oh, and this is what happened. Well, this sort of happens from time to time. Toon never does this, but once in a blue moon this happens. I mean, I'm sure Photoshop and other softwares also have this issue, but this really becomes frustrating. So my best suggestion is for all softwares out there, take 5 minutes out of your busy schedules and just save the damn thing. Okay, so this annoying thing happens from time to time, but that doesn't mean that you stop working and think about it that you have an art block. Get on it immediately. Don't fret, and keep saving. Often. So let's start from where we left off. So we now have a general understanding. I'm going to create a color card so that we can see the drawings more clearly. It's always a good idea to start drawing in the the brush with a white background, and this is again I'm going to just quickly come back to the brush tool and the pencil tool, because these two tools and their usage is very, very important in Toon. Now these are some properties of the brush tool. If you want to make the pencil tool or the brush tool have some kind of you see jaggedy lines. Whenever I'm writing something using the pencil tool, they are all jaggedy. They're wavy. The L is wavy, the P is wavy. I can fix this by just changing some parameters and adding some smoothness to the lines. Now whatever I'm writing, it's more smooth, and I just changed some values through, but mind you, these values, tangent values, when you change them, it also affects your handwriting. So sometimes you don't want things to be smooth and you want them to be edgy. So handwriting, for example, if you're doing some kind of like animation, like a whiteboard animation using Toon, it's always a best bet to change some parameters. Now the third tool that I'm using is the paint bucket tool. It's right under the erase tool and the text tool. on the top left of your tool palette. You can see that. Now the pencil tool is also a very versatile tool because it sort of like helps in drawing strokes, and you can see that this is the selection tool or the sub selection tool. It's a white arrow. You can see that the pencil outline, the drawings in the pencil, they have too many, and you can see I actually created I softened the tangents, so I'm going to change the tangents back to 0 0. So there are too many vertex points in the first one. Excuse me. So too many vertex points in the first one, and they're also called edit points. Too many vertex points, too many edit points. If you smoothen them out, they have less vertex points or less edit points. So let's look at now the circle. Okay, so let's now do some animations. Now what we can do is, initially when we start animating, what I like to do is start with the brush tool. I go to my drawing shapes layer. By default it comes open. It's the first layer that you create, and I'm going to start creating a character. So I start with a circle, as always. Figure out when this circle is close to my expectations, and I'm doing a very loose illustration on my circle. So from here I'm going to speed up the animation a little bit, just so that you guys can enjoy the animation sequence and not listen to me talk incessantly and get bored. Okay, from here you can see that the animation is all set. I did the keyframes, I extended the last frames just a little bit, and I'm just fixing and tweaking some things. So right now let's play the animation, check and see what's the result, and hope that I didn't do anything wrong. So we take our try, and I'm fairly okay with the animation. So let's go to the loop icon on top and click the play button. So I also did some voice work. Hello there. So it's hello there. ... full stop. So let's play. So it sort of looks okay with the the 4 O's. There's some lag in there, so I'm fairly okay with it. I'm going to upload the video version with the sound and the animation sequence soon, and probably merge the files at the end here as well. So hope you guys like the animation, and subscribe to our page at Comic-Con PK. We'll be coming up with more animations, cartoons, and a lot of stuff from my students, me, and my colleagues as well. And Comic-Con is just around the corner in Lahore City, so hope to see you guys there. Okay, take care, and bye bye.